quoi ces lunettes-là?
C'est actually smart glasses.
Wow, shout out, man. J'aimerais bien avoir shout out the sunglasses.
People really seem to like these, but check this out, okay? Even Realities launched the first gen G1 glasses about 2 years ago, and they were an amazing new piece of tech for me. I wore them daily, I traveled everywhere with them. Very useful in sending notifications while rushing through the airport, quickly checking flight updates, glancing at the time, the weather, stock ticks, which I'm really getting into now. It was a great experience and it genuinely felt different. Now, the G2s right here, they were built on that foundation. Full disclosure, the pre-production pair they sent me had bugs. But ever since, they've ironed out most of the bugs and they're closing in on a proper product. There were actually a handful of features I would have loved to test in Europe with Porsche, especially my heart rate during some of the drives. But I couldn't because of some bugs. I want to say the best tech channels act as product R&D and the smart brands listen to them. It seems like the team took time to hear some of my concerns, so here we are. Here's my real experience, no BS, and what to expect from versions that will be shipping to you. Okay, so let me fast forward a couple of months because after a few firmware versions, you'll find some really happy customers on Reddit who are always like the hardest critics. Now, what I really like is that even Realities seem like they are willing to listen and invest time and money to craft a next-gen product. They've invested in Apple engineers and vertically integrated their tech stack. Now, the software and hardware is all produced in-house, which lets them iterate on their key features. Like, for example, these tiny micro displays that project information through the G2's optical waveguide. And vertical integration doesn't only give them supply control and proper access to quality control, but it gives them the ultimate flexibility to build exactly what they want.
I just want to say before we get into the design of these glasses, I used them throughout this entire renovation right here. They were actually extremely, like very dusty, and they work like a charm. Just putting that out there. Anyways, for those who regularly watch the channel, we're expanding the office. We are literally building a lab. So subscribe if you guys wanna see a lot more.
As I've been wearing these hardware-wise, well, nothing here feels new to me because I'm coming from the G1s, but what's always nice is knowing that they still prioritize privacy in this design. You see, these glasses not only are they sleek, thin, minimal, well designed to look like glasses, but you can't tell they are smart glasses, which I really appreciate. The body itself practically just doesn't give that away. You'd have to like very much look hard or look at distinct angles to see those tiny little displays that even at that people think they are double correction glasses. Some people have asked me the question, but most don't. And when they don't see any sort of camera on the body, there's always like this ease in the room. It's kind of weird. But I guess with the Metas, which are also great and fantastic glasses I've tried, people are kind of turned off by privacy.
Listen, I just want to say a thing regarding having a camera on these. Last year when these were presented to me as the first iteration, like these G1s, I was kind of disappointed about not having a camera because right now that I'm doing renovations in this new space, it would be super useful for me to be able to record, show my contractor all these things that I want to change here and there and send it to him. But you can just grab that with your phone realistically. And the main pitch to me was that, well, these are all about privacy, design, and they're not really meant to compete with other glasses like the Meta Ray-Bans, for example. These are very sleek. Look at them. These are real glasses.
Of course, when you start touching them in order to, I don't know, scroll the dashboard or to activate certain features, that's when I pretty much give it away, right, for the most part. Or when I'm looking up, right? I've had times where I'm like staring at a ceiling and people are just wondering, why are you just staring at that ceiling? Yeah, it makes you look like a dummy sometimes. But you know what? Over the few months I've had these, they have gotten way better. The touchpads with just a single firmware update got night and day better for me. Like the touches register a lot better. It's almost perfect, really. I really enjoy using the temples, but to me everything feels a lot more intuitive with the ring. And the ring is not perfect by any means. It's got some quirks, which I will touch upon in a bit, but traversing the dashboard with the ring is fantastic. when it works. Now that I've been into the stock market, to me it's like the number one thing I do with my glasses, as well as creating lists. And I also, well, I love taking a quick peek at my notifications super quickly. And that workflow just works so well with a ring, because really the touch usability is the same. Scrolling, tapping, moving through menus. It's like using the touch pads, but instead you use the ring for it. All of that is nice, but here's where the G2s really started to impress me. I was at the Apple store for the new Montreal store opening, and the number one feature that blew me away was the Conversate mode. Listen, I'm always skeptical with new tech and features like these. I was going into thinking, okay, it'll be decent. I'm not sure if it'll be any different from my Soundcore AI recorder. I paired with an app that records conversations intelligently, and the Soundcore is functional, but there are moments where parts of my conversations need a bit more of like they just need more interpretation. Let's just put it that way. This thing, holy crap. Like for example, in French, with our Montreal accent, it was picking up word by word. And on top of that, it was translating and throwing up these quick summaries. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 when it comes to picking up conversations, translating them, and summarizing them live. It's honestly close to a 10, but other than delivering a conversation summary, the app doesn't seem to like save my transcripts.
So here's the funny thing about this. A few days ago, this didn't work. Like I went on my transcripts and I couldn't see anything. Now I did an update 2 days ago, and well, now it seems to be working. So now that AI summary has a proper conversation summary, key points, and a transcript, which is great. I've got a full transcript here. Well, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Look, it's also even able to add stuff to your list. So that's cool. So just to summarize, Conversate mode is so good. Like being able to capture a Montreal French accent and someone speaking very quickly, being able to capture every single word is very impressive. And that's, I'm gonna put the transcript right here so you guys can take a look at it, because it was just able to capture word after word after word after word, and I really like that. It's a feature that works really well.
Other features I tried using, the teleprompter, really
AI
good.
called Claude AI, so I tried it. At first I thought it was just another chat bot, but it's different. It actually feels like you're controlling a computer, not just chatting. It can open apps, click things, and run tasks all from the cloud. That's powerful, but also kind of scary because this AI gets real access. So yeah, super impressive, but security and privacy really matter here. This feels like the future of AI assistants, not just answering questions, but actually doing things. We just trust an AI with a full computer access. You guys can answer this question down below, but as you can see, I'm not wearing the glasses. You guys are wearing the glasses, and the mics are very solid, and the teleprompter is very impressive.
I also used the navigation. This time it's much different in terms of its layout. I remember last year I was having location accuracy issues. This seems to be pretty spot on. There's this new look around to calibrate compass sort of feature that might play a role into that. But the map loading is still pretty slow, sadly. Sometimes it actually doesn't even load at all, and I have to like restart it. But when it works, man, I really like the new UI. It's so much better than what the G1 delivered. I also do have this bug where I get notifications in Mandarin when using maps from time to time. Not a big issue, but definitely something to be fixed, along with their Android app, which needs some polish. One thing that drives me crazy is the lack of interactive UX. When I press a button in the app, it doesn't always show that it's being pressed. So if I'm trying to reconnect the glasses or the ring, I'm sometimes left guessing if the tap even registered. They're also doing a good job with their Even AI, which has been good at delivering answers. I'm often running numbers, converting between US and CAD, and doing financial due diligence for the business, which is why I use ChatGPT so much. But Even AI can handle that pretty quickly for me, especially when I'm walking or driving, right? Which is awesome. In that sense, when it comes to delivering answers, it works really well for me. That said, the mic is a little wonky with Even AI, despite it being quite great for Conversate, translate, and teleprompt. And I found myself using GPT on my phone more than I'd like, because it just doesn't always pick up my sentences on the first try. I don't know, it could use some refining. Still, Quick List is incredible when it works seamlessly with even AI. Since I tend to forget things really often, I have this tendency of writing things down right away on Notion. I practically got a whole dedicated workflow just for that. But my god, it's nice to have a checklist you can quickly add items to without ever grabbing your phone. Like, I often get ideas while I'm driving, so, I can't text and drive. To me, that's just extremely valuable. Unfortunately, the experience isn't always consistent, largely because even AI still needs improvement in voice and speech recognition. The most significant issue that needs resolving is Bluetooth connectivity. I've noticed when I get in the car or when I get out of the car, the Bluetooth handoff causes the glasses to bug out. So that needs a bit of work.
I do want to mention that this whole bug that's been happening to me, it mainly happens when I'm getting into the car and my phone is sort of connecting to Bluetooth. I feel like it evs up the connection with the glasses. And when I'm getting out of the car, it just like, I don't know, it just freezes the screen. I guess it has to do something with different Bluetooth devices sort of connecting on the phone at the same time. It might lose the signal or something.
And they implemented a battery saving sleep mode where if I haven't used them for a few hours, they basically disconnect. So I have to physically open my phone and the app just to wake them up. I'd prefer maybe a smoother sleep / low power to wake up experience so they're always ready,
Oh, yes. So aside from auto brightness being quite decent, I think it could be better. I know they've been working on it. But anyways, there's this 3D-like plane where you can push your screen, either have it closer to you, mid, or further. It's actually very cool. The screen does seem to live in this like 3D environment, so that's awesome. Then if you click here, you've got a few set of options you might want to use. Like, for example, auto detect wear. I usually turn it on or off depending on my mood, to be honest. So yeah, that's cool. Nothing different there aside from the 3D plane because I didn't have that with the G1s. Listen, I did run into a bug yesterday where, funny enough, this was a bug that I had on the G1s, but my lenses would see different things. So on the left, you'd have one thing on the dashboard, and on the right lens, you would have another thing on the dashboard. I was running into that bug last year with the G1s. Now with the G2s, that's honestly, it's just a glitch that they're probably just gonna patch with time.
Battery life, a 10 out of 10 for the most part. Honestly, it's really good. It's not like that, the typical wearables where you have to charge it every night. Nah. To give you an example, the day I went to the Apple store, I had 100%. I used them for about 50% of the day. Lots of notifications, using the Conversate feature, adding to my quick list. From there, I used it Friday for, again, about half of the day. Then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday really is where they really died.
It's Sunday, 8:30 a.m. I think my glasses died. I think that was it. I'm trying to connect them and they won't connect, so I'm pretty sure they're dead. From experience, these seem to last a lot longer than the G1s, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But it seems like it. From Thursday all the way to Sunday morning, it's not bad at all.
They charge extremely quickly, which is very nice. Like within 30 minutes, you can get a 50% charge. And in about an hour, you can get 100%. Every 100% charge seems to take like 15% juice out of the charging case. So really, a charge for me has been lasting for about 3 to 4 days, which is really good. And just know that this is me wearing them for about 50% to 70% of my day.
Okay, so here's where I am with the ring. I've been wearing it for a bit now. It's actually a very comfortable ring and it's not too big. It's not too bulky. And I carry cameras a lot, so it doesn't really bother me, like all sorts of like cinema equipment I'm always carrying. And it's pretty good. I'm not bothered by it at all. So I'd say comfort, check. Design, check. It doesn't seem to scratch easily at all. And my camera has like this metal frame to it that always rubs against it. And I've been like undoing a bunch of stuff at the office because we're doing renovations. It's been pretty good, but it's not perfect. like at all.
You see these work with the glasses, and as you guys can see, I wear it on my ring finger on my right hand, which means that it rubs quite a bit with my pinky finger, which then activates the glasses. In fact, I think the best thing to do is to order it for your index finger for better touch accessibility, because this right here has these touchpads which are sensitive. I've noticed they've been tweaked through software and have gotten way better, but it still needs some refining. I do find the ring not to be a necessity at all, but it's definitely a nice accessory to have for ease of use. Like for example, say you put this on your index finger. The concept here is the same as your pads. Double tap to activate the ring, tap on stuff, scroll, double tap to go back, hold for the menu. It works really well when and only when it reads your gestures properly without interference. And then the interesting thing is that the sensor within delivers some health features. This isn't a medical device, but I did find it extremely interesting how good it is. For example, at delivering sleep scores. In fact, I compared it to my Whoop, which has been my #1 health tracker device for a year now, and it's very, very accurate compared to Whoop. Like my sleep scores are practically almost the same when comparing. Now I can't give you as much feedback as I would like to because I've been using my Whoop for a whole year, but it seems like the health portion is heading towards the right direction, and it's impressive for a first iteration.
The ring, I've noticed it lasts about 2 days if I'm constantly wearing it 24/7. Around 2 days, I want to say. I feel like it's because, well, it's constantly reading my body, right? Because it has that health feature. I also noticed the other day that there's this little bug within the app that when you're charging the ring, it might not accurately read you the current battery it's at. Like it jumps and fluctuates in numbers that don't really make sense. So that's a bug to fix. But battery life on this, it's pretty solid for what it is. I feel like it could be a bit better, but for a first iteration, I'm really liking it.
So if you're looking to buy this, a few notes to wrap this up. The ring is definitely not a must, but it eases the navigation of the glasses. The maps feature cannot be used while driving, so keep note of that. You also need a strong 5G connection to get a reliable map experience. Expect a really good experience with both the translation and conversate features. Battery life is also really good on both devices, but the glasses are slightly better. Even AI needs to work, so I wouldn't necessarily just get these for its AI capabilities. The connection can be funky sometimes, so you'll run into Bluetooth bugs, but they are constantly updating them and working on it. Just through the past 3 weeks, I mean, I think I've updated them 3 times and it's gotten better. Use Reddit a lot, by the way. They have a great Reddit page where people seem to share experiences and concerns. Also, note that this product is also being built with a strong developer community in mind. Developers can apply for access and actively contribute by building features and helping identify and resolve bugs in a model that's closer to an open ecosystem approach. It's a very fun product. I'm actually happy there's no membership or any features that need to be paid for, and I'm also happy that it's got this open source ecosystem approach. Lots of people on their Discord channels actually building cool stuff. If you got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer, so leave them down below.